Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Greatful. In today's video, it's more of a positive video, okay? We've got a positive life today because we're going to be speaking to somebody who has done a marvelous job up to now, okay? Up to now. If you've learned anything from oversight, you know that you need to constantly check over what's happening. Okay, so there needs to be a constant period of review. Okay, it needs to be constant because something can happen anytime. So, in saying that, things have been rather good for her up until lately. So that's good. It's good to hear that, and things have been going well. So we're going to hear from her in about a minute. Okay. Traveling, and I would say that if you were planning to go over to Africa to live there, and you are also planning to retire there, that's one thing. Okay, it's much easier than what she's done. I mean, she's doing something much bigger, right? And I want her to explain to you. I think it's better if she explains it to you. So I'm going to let her enter. And so, yeah, let's give her a warm welcome. Hello, Tonia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine. Today's been difficult first thing this morning, but so far so good now.
Okay. It's good to hear. You sound healthy. You
Thank
work
you.
on a Saturday as well.
Well,
Business day.
one of my employees, she took on a second job for the summer. So I knew she was resting today. And my other employee, he's away about 3 hours away. So I knew he couldn't go down to the port. So
Could
I
you
did it
explain
myself.
to the audience what you do?
I am an import exporter and customs clearance agent.
Oh my gosh. So did you listen to the last video we just did with the customs agent over there in the Gambia?
I did, and I commented, she never spoke on it. I commented that I personally didn't have any issues with my imports and exports during our post pandemic. So that was probably an agent issue or maybe a money issue. I'm not sure what her issues were getting her vehicle out of port.
Okay, I didn't. I'll explain it to you now. What happened is that she got involved personally,
Hmm.
romantically somewhat, with one of the customs agents.
Mm.
Basically, she went through. I know she went through one of the customs. She went through customs at the Senegambia border on road via a bus, and they took all of her details. And one of the agents took her telephone numbers and basically targeted her. And a relationship developed somewhat. And when she didn't really want to be in that relationship anymore, when she sent over her car for this man to come and collect it and get it cleared, the man registered the car in his name, and that was it. That was it. And he took everything, and he went back to her apartment because she has an apartment in
Mhm.
Banjul. Went back to her apartment and took everything, like cleaned it out.
Well, yeah, and I commented asking how did he have free access to her apartment? Um,
Yes, yeah. That's how he had it because she was in a personal relationship with him before.
okay.
Um, so clearly, not a good thing to do. Not a good thing to do. So you live in Tejas, right?
Hmm.
You live in
Texas?
Tejas.
Uh,
Yeah.
Texas? Yeah. Hmm.
I,
I
I,
live in
ca- I
Houston,
call it I
Texas.
call it by its original name.
Hmm.
It's a Spanish name, isn't it? Tejas.
Yes, that's before it became the state Texas. That's what the
Yeah.
Mexicans called it. Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. You got a lot of people here that listening in, listening to you. So basically, I mean, you've told me about your story. Everything seems to be going well for you, Tonia, and I've just been making videos, nightmare after nightmare, people having problems when they go into the Gambia. And the thing is that it's not fair, because it's not only bad things happening to these people. There are some people who are going to the Gambia and they are having success. And because I don't really hear about them, because most of those people keep to themselves, it's difficult to sort of find out what they are doing, what is their sort of formula to keeping out of trouble, making sure that their business goes smooth, making sure that they enter the country smoothly, that type of thing. And you are in a situation where you are moving to the Gambia. You're moving your business to the Gambia. You're moving a lot to the Gambia. So I'm just
Well, I will say my business will remain US based. I will work from the Gambia, but I'm not moving my business from the US. No.
So you're basically doing what I've done.
Yes.
Basically. So I've registered my company in the UK. It's a registered British company.
Yes.
But it's an international organization, so we can still work wherever we need to work.
Exactly.
So okay, that's good. Do you ever import anything into the Gambia?
I have. I've only so far done about 7 imports into the Gambia. Again, I haven't had any issues. So I think your previous caller, who you did the interview with, because she chose to mix business and personal, that was where she first went wrong, in my personal opinion. I just don't do that. Now, that's not saying when I've gone to the port, there haven't been men that have tried to be flirtatious and overly talkative. I have a resting bitch face, so to speak. So there have been situations afterwards where I may have my husband come with me just so they can see I'm not approachable. Leave me alone. I'm here to take care of my business and be done. So, but I haven't had any issues. I can say with the Gambia, they are starting to go more online as far as clearances and paying your charges directly to the port authority. So that if she's going to continue to go back there and do business, then she may want to look into doing that. Maybe setting up a surety bond herself where she can pay her own duties and taxes directly through them. I mean, I'm not sure what her business there is. So
a surety.
it's a surety bond. Yes.
So I'm trying to make sure that the people here, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure. I know what a surety bonds are, but I didn't know sort of.
It's basically a guarantee of payment. You can set up an ACH account with the Port Authority, and you can make your payments directly that way. If you're estimating the value of something that you're importing, but you're not going to declare the full value until importation, then that's when a surety bond would come into effect, where you need to make sure you have enough funds on that bond to cover those duties and taxes.
Yeah, I don't think she's actually doing business. I don't think she's doing business. I think it was all about her just getting over there. I think most of it was just personal. So at this current moment, she's just focused on getting herself over there. She has a place over there. But her family told her, sorry about this, I'm a bit busy. Her family told her that perhaps having a man there, having a man around her would be a good thing. What they didn't realize was the current state of the types of people who are going there. So yeah, that's, you can't just go there. And even if it is, it could even be a police officer. I mean, you guys know what
you can't even trust them there, though. So
no, you can't. So let me ask you. I don't want to ask too many questions about. I know you're a private person, Tonia. You're a very private person. So I'm going to ask you a little bit about your, your husband is Gambian,
Yes.
and whose idea was it to move to the Gambia?
Well, originally when we were dating, because there was some pushback from my family as far as us getting married. It was
Can,
proposed, well, would you ever consider moving here? Work wise, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I do have twins and they're still minors, so I cannot legally take them out of this country unless their donor agreed to it. And I doubt that he would do that. So,
okay, okay.
ultimately, we will not make our final move and transition until they are able to leave the U.S. without his
Hmm.
approval. But in the
Hmm.
meantime, we'll have our home there. So vacations, holidays, we're able to go and stay for extensive periods of time. So,
I think that's another thing, another place a lot of guys are having a lot of problems with what they are doing is they think that, they have to stay there permanently. Oh, I'm going to the Gambia to live, so I'm going to stay there permanently. But you can organize your life in a way in which you gradually make it permanent, even if, clearly you have um, the other children, and if their other family members don't want you to take them to Africa permanently, or if they do not see uh, the um, the benefits in them moving, which there are clear benefits. I'm guessing there are clear benefits for them moving to the Gambia. Then you can adapt. You can adapt your lives in a way in which you can spend as much time over there as possible. Do you have to be in the United States in order to work, or can you work remotely?
yes, I could work remotely.
Okay, so yeah, so that's a big plus. That is a massive plus. Uh, so you haven't exactly made the decision to move over there, but you bought your land, right?
Yes, we have several.
Sorry, several pieces of land.
Yes, only
Oh.
two are in my name. So there were two plots of property adjoining each other, but two different sellers. So that's the
Hmm.
max that I can own in country in my name. My husband owns the three other properties. One is where it's in Shenyang, and that's where we'll build our home. And the second one is the compound for his mother and the lot adjoining her compound, and that's what she uses to farm. She sells at the Brikama market. So for me, my goal was to make life comfortable for her. I didn't want him to leave her and she not be okay. So he owns that property, those two properties, and the one in Shenyang.
Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry, I've got people that my volume was very low. I wonder if everybody hear me now? Just give me a yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
Yes, I can hear
Tonia?
you.
Oh,
Yes, I
perfect.
can hear
Okay.
you.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. I can hear everybody too. All right. So, um, where were we? So, it's you've put yourself in a position where you've got pieces of land. What, you're just going to build on those pieces of land? You're going to develop them? You're going to sell the houses? What are you planning to do with
Well,
it?
no, the property in Shenyang, that's where we will ultimately live once we completely relocate.
Hmm.
The two in Fajara, that's where our businesses will be built. The compound, his mother, she lives there now with his younger siblings. And I mean, she's already started planting her crops and producing on the lot next to it.
Nice, nice. That's really nice. Is she a farmer by trade or something?
She had a small garden at her previous compound, but it wasn't hers. She didn't own it, you know. So she grows her crops. She does have a few women that work for her tending to the crops while she's at the market, because that's something she does 7 days a week. Um,
Mm.
so I mean, for her, she's able to grow more in different variety of vegetables, and so I mean, she's happy. So as long as she's happy, we're happy.
And the father isn't around.
No, his father passed away years
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad to hear. Can I ask you, is he from a prominent family? I mean, because a lot of Gambians tend to move abroad whilst, and those types of Gambians, I'm going to say actually those types of West Africans in general. A lot of the West Africans that I've met, have been quite not well off, but you know, they don't shy. It's not like they're having problems paying the rent and stuff. They look like they've done well wherever they've come from, which is a stark contrast to many of the people who move, especially to the United States. Many people who move to the United States are down on their luck, and they've moved to the United States to basically find their dream because they couldn't quite make it where they were. So, is that the case with your partner? Was he?
No, he's not from a prominent family. No,
Okay. Okay.
no,
All
he's not. No.
right. Sorry, but I feel him. I feel him. Let me ask you this, right? How has being married to this gentleman, how has it facilitated you buying land, buying property, that type of thing? How has it made things easier? Have you been a part of the process, or did you just leave it with him?
For the most part, I've left it with him. It's made it easier because he's able to negotiate the price for the land a lot lower than what they were listing it, wanting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
it's made it a lot easier, in my opinion, being married to a Gambian, because I mean, even so much as in the market, um, they will try and overcharge me for things
Okay.
versus having him there. He's able to, you know, negotiate the price down to what he would pay or his mother would pay or someone like that, a
Yeah.
local would pay.
So when you guys went sort of hunting for places, did you sort of stay back in the shadows and allowed him to do his thing? Is that the way you did it?
Well, actually, I researched and found the properties, and then I let him know who he needed to contact to be able to go and view the properties. His cousin is an architect, so he would always bring him with him when he was viewing the different properties.
Does he go back to Gambia often?
Since he's gotten his travel permit, yes.
Hmm. Okay. He speaks Wolof,
No,
right?
he speaks Mandinka.
Mandinka. Okay.
Hmm.
So is his children with you? Are they going to get the scars like me?
I don't know about that. Um, we don't have kids yet. We're going through the whole IVF process, so
Okay. Fingers
yeah.
crossed. Things will turn out. Um, Gambian citizenship. Would you ever think about that?
Our attorney has advised me not to. I'm not going to give up my U.S. citizenship.
Would you have to
He,
give it up?
yes, I would. And so that's her only thing, because they are, the Gambian government, they are still discussing changes to that particular clause of their constitution. My husband can have dual citizenship. Our kids can have dual citizenship. God willing, we have them. but I would have to renounce mine, and I'm just not comfortable with that. So, no,
I mean,
I wouldn't.
I think the question is, do you even need it?
I don't. No, I personally don't feel I need it. Um, I
What
mean,
if,
I just don't.
yeah, what if legislation changed? Let's say Blacksit came good and changed legislation, and you could get automatic citizenship, and you could also have dual citizenship. I mean, I'm trying to look at it from the perspective. I can have dual citizenship in Africa, but because I haven't got a Jamaican passport, but I can easily get one. I
Hmm.
haven't got one yet, but I can. It's very easy for me to get one, and because I get one, my children can get one, my
Hmm.
wife can get one. You know, it's a bit of a chain, which would make it easier for us to go and live in places like Ghana. It would make it the visa. Actually, there is no visa application for Jamaicans in Ghana. You just go there with your passport. It makes things easier. Um, but the Gambia seems to be in a bit of a mess at this moment, and it doesn't. They don't seem to be. They don't seem to have a focus on their future. It's like they are thinking from day to day. It's really weird. I'm not a big. I'm not a big. I don't have a lot of hope for the Gambian government because the
Uh,
country's.
the Gambian government, I'm not a huge fan of. It's just after speaking with our attorney there, if she's able to legally get me Gambian citizenship, fine. If not, I'm not willing to give up my U.S. citizenship. I'm just not. Um, and that's just, I guess it's just a personal decision for me. It's not that important to have Gambian citizenship. Um, that's just what I've chosen. I'm not going to renounce my U.S. citizenship, regardless of how crazy some may feel that is. I'm just not going to do it.
But it
We
would be
made the
easy.
decision. We made the decision to want to ultimately relocate back to the Gambia because of my mother-in-law and his siblings and all of his families there. Me, my sister's already said, oh, now she knows where she'll come for vacation. So I don't have a lot of family that's tying me here in the US. All of his family's there. I just feel like I would prefer for my children to grow up and know their culture, have a good relationship with their grandmother for as long as she's here. That's just what we felt would be better for us as a family.
Mm, okay. Um, can I ask? Um, I mean, I'm going to ask. I didn't put this in the questions, but I wanted to ask this question. Right.
Mhm.
Um, you are. Where are you from? Well, it's really funny. Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because it's like an ongoing joke in England when somebody doesn't quite know what country, what background you're from, and they ask you where you're from, and you're telling them, oh, I was born here in England. Oh yeah, but where you from? Yeah, I'm from Birmingham. Oh, but where you from? You know, they just get afraid to ask. Um,
I'm
you
originally
you
from
have a Spanish.
Louisiana.
I wasn't asking that. You had a Spanish last name, it sounded like. You had a
Well,
Spanish.
it's a Creole last name. It is, I guess you would say it's Spanish. Mm,
Dominica.
my
Like,
dad's family, no, Puerto Rican, and my mom's family is from Haiti, and they mix with those French, and that's my last name, Matulia.
oh, nice. Do you speak any of the
Creole,
yeah,
yes,
nice. Like what Haitian Creole?
yes.
Oh, nice. Have you ever been to Haiti?
I have. I've been a few times. When you did the video about the assassination of the president, that was just, 50-50 on both hands, because I have family that's still there. And so, they feel a certain way about it. Some agree and they're cheering and rejoicing, and others aren't. So,
The thing about
all I
president,
can do is send my prayers to them.
I mean, if the president was, this is the thing about it, everyone was rejoicing, but the only reason an outside entity would want to take out the president is if their interests, which are never normally aligned with the interests of the people, of the public, if their interest was not being met or was in danger of going away. So, they would only take out the president if he somehow changed his mind or was trying to do some legislation that would give more power, more freedom to the people, more land to the people, or whatever, something like that. So when people were cheering, I was like, well, how do you know he didn't change his mind? How did you know he wasn't actually trying to change legislation?
But then what he was actually doing was not benefiting the people there in Haiti. Is
Yeah,
what I've been told from my different family members. None of his legislation to date had benefited them in any way, shape, or form.
that's really sad. But the thing is, if it's other people from the outside, they're going to put somebody else in charge, and they'll have the strings to the puppet too. It's not looking good. I'm really sad. Do you know anybody from Lebanon there? There's plenty of Lebanese living in Haiti, right?
They do have a large community there, yes.
Yeah.
Larger than what I expected to see when I visited.
It's really strange. They're Christian, right? They're Christian Lebanese. Apparently,
yes.
It's really strange that they tend to like go into these countries, like the African countries and the Caribbean countries, instead of going to perhaps places in Europe. They tend to stay away from that. I wonder if there's a reason for that.
You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I wonder if there's a reason why they keep going to these black countries.
Oh, I'm sure you know the answer to that.
Lucky them.
It's far easier for them to go versus anyone else.
Yeah, true. Oh, I'm looking at your I'm looking at your profile here.
Mm-hmm.
When you entered the Gambian property market, the real estate market, did you perhaps think that you were going to have any problems yourself? Weren't you worried? Because I've been offered land. I was offered land by a white lady.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking 20 years ago, when I was first there, the first time I was there. It had already begun. And this white lady was working on behalf of an Indian man. So it had already started, right? But clearly, the appetite for land from African Americans, from other diasporans, wasn't really big. And it seems as though those people now are focused on selling their land to African Americans. You're perfect. You're a perfect target for them. So did you worry perhaps and think, well, even if your husband was part of it, partly was taking care of business, did you think that maybe they would do something to him?
No, that wasn't a fear of mine. They didn't see me until the end when it was time to sign the documents.
Ah, and they went, damn. That's pretty cool. And that's actually something that we do at Oversight. Actually, we don't tell people about who's actually signing up to the property until the very last minute. Clearly, it's much more financially beneficial for our client that the person who they're buying the land from does not know that this person is either American or British or whatever, that they don't know them. We have a Gambian representative. The Gambian representative takes care of everything.
Yeah.
And you sent me one of your lawyers actually, but I couldn't. I haven't been able to get in contact with him.
It's a she.
Oh, okay. I haven't been able to get in contact with. Is she on WhatsApp?
I didn't communicate with her via WhatsApp. No.
Oh, okay. So I'll have to give her a call. Is she 100% Gambian?
No, she's not. She's British.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might know who it is. I know there's quite a few British. It's not who I'm thinking of, is it?
I'm not sure. I was given her and two other attorneys, but one of the gentlemen, he was arrested a few years ago with some, there was some type of corruption charge against him, so I didn't want him having any involvement in my land purchases. So she was the first one that responded, and she was the one that came highest recommended on my list, so we just went with her. I feel she gave me a fair deal. I paid 2% to her and for her legal fees, and we were okay with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad price actually. It's not bad. And how long did it take you to get your land papers? I mean, you said you got a few pieces of land. Which was the longest? Which was the longest process?
It would be the Fajara properties, and I feel that was because it was two different sellers involved. And because they're in my name and I'm not Gambian. So I feel like that's why that process took a little longer.
How long did it take?
It took a little over 4 months for that process. With the Sanyang property, Gam Realty, they were the ones who listed that property. And so that's who we negotiated the pricing with.
Oh.
But again, they had only done their negotiation with my husband. They only saw him and his cousin when they went out to inspect the land. So that's all they knew until it was time to sign the documentation and turn over the money.
Okay. I've made loads of videos about scammers in the Gambia, and you've seen a lot of what these people are doing. A lot of these victims. I've been trying to explain to people what perhaps they are doing wrong. Okay. What do you think is the problem? Why do you think so many people are getting scammed, particularly in the Gambia, whilst you've been able to seemingly buy multiple plots of land, including a nice big piece of land? You've bought a piece of land near the ocean, right? Near the seaside.
Yes.
As close as you can get to the seaside, I should say, right?
As close as, yes, legally we can be. I think for me, the property in Sanyang, it's about 2,500 meters away from the sea. So we're good within that TDA rule. I think where they're going wrong is they're buying into a dream that YouTube land agents are selling them. And that's just my opinion. People can say that I'm wrong, but when we discuss buying property, we, you know, because my husband does, you know, when I'm watching these videos and then I'm complaining or I'm screaming at the screen, saying whatever, you know, for him it's just drama. So, you know, it took him a few weeks to agree for me to talk to you. For him, it's just drama, and he just didn't want any part of it. And so I just did the research on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And we took that approach rather than relying on YouTubers to tell us how to do it. And, you know, as you can see with the Blacksit situation, they're selling services that they're not making good on. And even with the live that you had her come in on, she can say that she was sick. At the end of the day, it's still an excuse. And me personally, I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're on your deathbed. If you're still breathing and I've paid you to do a service, then I suggest you have someone else in your business organization complete it and get me what I need. So I have the documentation to prove I own that land.
It's
So
it's extremely unprofessional. Yeah. I mean, even saying, "Oh, yeah, I was ill today," that's an extremely unprofessional thing to say. You don't give excuses, especially
yeah,
when you have somebody's that what could be somebody's life savings in your hands. You don't. Oh, yeah, my hand was. Oh, yeah, I couldn't. It's not the way things are done. And this is, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for her, but I think genuinely she's a victim of her own success, and she has not put enough money back into her organization to take care of the amount of people that she has, the amount of business that she has. Her company has stayed the same size, but the amount of business that she has coming in has just ballooned, right? And she's unable she's not, it's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable business model that she has, because clearly we've got to the point now where people are moaning about the service that they're getting from her. They already know that it's unprofessional because she's lied to people. She's been telling people fibs, which is just it's really sad for the Blacksit sort of label once you start going down that road where you're lying about who you've done business with and what you have done. And can I just ask, did all the pieces of land that you bought, were they all freehold, or were they from the chiefs? Did you buy land from the chiefs? I forgot what it's called now. You have freehold, you have leasehold. Which one did you get? Did you get?
all of our properties are freehold.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's permanently yours.
Yes.
Okay, cool, cool. And did you buy that piece? I'm going to ask another question.
Now, the
I'm
two in
probing.
Hajara I have leased because I'm not a Gambian citizen. So,
Okay. Okay. So 99 years.
yes.
Okay. Okay. And did your husband? You said your husband didn't help you with that one.
Um, when I purchased it, his name was not on the property, but we have discussed with my attorney putting his name on the property. So we know that that property can never be taken back from the government, because we are building an office and a warehouse and our second business on those properties. So that's not something we're willing to lose.
Of course, of course. So I didn't realize that, clearly the land near the water, you're going to develop into private housing for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's really cool. And you've got the plans, or you said your husband's brother is an architect.
Yes.
Did he draw up the plans?
I already had the plans drawn up here in the US, but he did make some changes to it before we went to before we took them to physical planning.
Do you have a certain amount of time before you have to start developing that piece of land?
We have not been given a certain amount of time. Once we got our signed and stamped documents from physical planning, then we went ahead and we put gates around the property.
Gates, was it a brick wall?
Well, brick walls, yes.
And with a gate for access?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you haven't, I think sometimes they'll gravel the land. Did you have the land graveled? Like, did you put stones inside there?
It has been, yes.
Okay, that's really good. So you're okay for now?
For now, yeah.
When does work start?
We are starting with our residential property first because when we do go back, it's not the worst thing in the world to stay at my mother-in-law's, but it's not exactly the best thing in the world because power does go out. And so I do need the electricity. I do need the Wi-Fi to continue to work. So the hotels become expensive. And we're not there to, just be in a hotel all the time. We are there to visit with her. So it's like, so for us, we are starting our residential property first. Um, we're not going to start it now. We're going to wait until the raining season is over because it's just now starting. So once it's over and done with, maybe by November we'll start.
Okay. Sorry, you went through to buy the Fajara property. You went through oh gosh, what's his name? I was speaking about it.
Gam Realty.
Gam Realty. So we spoke about it last week. A lot of people were saying that they were expensive, but I mean, this is the property business, right?
It's the property business, and for me, I guess you get what you pay for. And I didn't really want a lot of hassling, going back and forth. I mean, just dealing with physical planning is enough. It was enough of a headache for me. They move at their own pace. So I just, I preferred working with Gam Realty. What worked for me may not work for everyone else. I can say that, financially, I was in a good position where it was feasible for me to work with Gam Realty.
I mean, you paid, I'm not going to tell people how much you paid, but it was 6 digits, right? It was quite a decent amount. Yeah?
Yes.
That's enough to buy a very good mansion in the Gambia. But you're going to be away from those people now. You've got your own sort of thing that you can develop. Did the person that was selling the land to you, did he or she, did they have other pieces of land too surrounding in that area, or was it just purely for you?
There were some other plots, but I wasn't interested in those, so I just settled on those two. Even when we were looking at the Sanyang property, there were 8 different plots that were suggested to us, but it didn't have the beach sea view that I personally wanted. But my husband was okay with it. I just feel like I'm not going to pay more for something that I really don't want versus less for what I do want, and that we can invest and make it, be what everyone will be happy with in the end. So.
How would you gauge Gam Realty's performance with you? I mean, was it just for the Fajara land, or was it for other pieces of land as well?
Well, actually, they've been my agent on all of the properties. The property for my mother-in-law's compound and her plot of land, it was listed by a different realtor, but I used Gam Realty to represent us in that purchase as well. So.
Okay. So they're trustworthy.
Yes.
They seem to have a good team. They seem to have a good Gambian-based team. I mean, I did mention to everybody that it wasn't black owned, but I don't even like that term, you know, black owned. It's in this business, it's more important to make sure that the agent, the person that you're dealing with, is solid before the race thing comes in. You forget about it. There's no point. Look at all the people that have been scamming us. Look at them. Look at their faces. They look like us. They look like us.
Exactly. Well, you know, I said in that video, for me, when we got referrals and I actually researched them, the color of that man's skin or what his nationality is didn't matter to me. At
Mhm.
the end of the day, I worked with a Gambian licensed realtor. So he made a profit off of those sales with me. So at least whomever his boss is, that's between him and his boss. I worked with
Mhm.
Shaku, and so he gave me amazing service. If I were to buy anything else, that's who I would go back to.
Was that the guy with the glasses on in my
Yes,
video?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, he seemed real nice.
He's
He
very,
seems
very
real.
nice and very professional. So,
Yeah.
you know, my dealings was with a Gambian. And because of his good service, that's why I went back to him for the other properties.
You pay for what you get.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he does seem quite professional.
I mean, he's very
Yeah.
professional. Even though the Sanyang property has, you know, he sold it to us, you know, there is a body of a huge body of water that's separating the beach from our property. And so it's like, is there any way to get direct access to the beach instead of having to take a drive down to get there? And so he is going to assist us in working with different contractors to build a bridge, a concrete bridge that'll get us over to the beach area directly from our property.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That is really good. Because it's going to develop. It's going to be a bridge for everybody, right? It's going to be public access. Is it for public access? The bridge?
No. Unless
Oh,
the public or the Gambian government would like to chip in with me. Um, no, that's about, right now we're looking at about 23,000 US dollars to build this bridge. The Gambian government isn't building a bridge. They've just cleared a dirt road about 5 miles, I mean, 5 minutes away. So no. Now, if the government
you know,
needs
I was looking.
access to it, we can make it accessible for a government official. But just the general public, no, no.
Uh, okay. Because I was looking for. I don't know why, but I follow a lot of Instagram profiles from Nigeria, and I'm looking at some of the houses there. Some of the houses are on the water, on the beach. They're and they are private houses that they've built. So I think they have different rules there. I'm not sure if there's anybody here that's watching that's Nigerian that would know about the Nigerian property market, but are you allowed to build on the beach? I've seen houses on the beach. It's so incredible. The beaches there aren't. I mean, I haven't been there before, but from what I see, they're not incredible. You know what I mean? But to have that ability to walk out your door and take a step and then you're feeling sand on your feet, for me that's priceless. And I don't think I'm going to settle for anything less. I need to have that. If I'm
No,
going to move back to the country,
with the
if I'm going,
Gambia,
I'm not trying to put down. I'm not trying to put down your land. You know that's all good, but I'll pay. Clearly, you have to pay for that. You pay
yeah.
for what you get. And I see the other pieces of land that people are buying for $500, $2,000, $3,000. Clearly, they're buying land that is rural. It's had it's got no access to even electricity. So people have to think on the foot. They have to innovate, right? They have to think about where they're going to get their energy, their internet, and clearly there are options. There are options out there for people if they want to have photovoltaic glass on their windows, which absorbs. Yeah, I know it's expensive. You have to pay for that because that absorbs sunlight. It's a window that absorbs sunlight that you can see out of, but it also it's like a solar panel. Solar panel. It acts like a solar panel. So things like that, or building something which can withstand these storms over there, you know. But I haven't seen anybody really.
Like with my mother-in-law's compound, it's solar powered. So, you know, she doesn't rely on, you know, the Gambian electrical system there or the water company, because they'll cut you off at any time. You know, they had a storm last night and, you know, they cut power in her area. But she has a borehole on the property and a well. So with us, when we do start to build, our goal is to source our building materials, what we can window-wise and things of that nature, here in the U.S. and ship it over in a container. Just because here in Houston, we deal with hurricanes and tropical storms on a regular basis. So that's something I felt, you know, I wanted to have put into the home there.
I'm guessing you'll know how to ship that. You ship things all the time.
Well, I'll ship it myself. I mean, it'll be a container full of, you know, a lot of the things that the windows, a lot of the fixtures and things that I want to be put into the home. So, yeah.
You know, you got stuff like granite, which is naturally found in Ghana. They have some of the world's best granite there. Will you be sourcing some of the, and actually a lot of the locally sourced products, because of ECOWAS, you don't have to pay taxes if you send it from an ECOWAS from another ECOWAS country. So would you be planning to perhaps use some local materials as well as for building locally?
I will. I've chosen to go with the interior design company out of Kenya. They're in Nairobi. And so that was something that we agreed upon, that he would try and source within the continent rather than outsourcing.
Interior design company?
Yes.
Tonia, how much are you planning to spend on this yard?
No.
To be honest, it sounds like you're. You must be looking at spending quite a bit.
Once we make the final move in the next 6 to 7 years, I mean, that's going to be home. That's it for me. So I feel it may as well be what I want it to be. I don't plan on moving again. So, I mean, because I'm not just uprooting myself, it would be my husband and all of my children, dogs and cats included. So, and again, I work. So my business, I've been in business for 4.5 years now. And so even during the pandemic, my business didn't slow down. The second business that we're going to start there, that's something more that my husband will run. It's not like we're going to move there and we're just going to retire. No, we will still work. One of my business in particular, yes, I will build a small office, but the warehouse will be bigger. So whatever we may bring into the port or through the Banjul airport, if I have to store it, it would be stored at my facility.
Okay. Did you take that into consideration? The adverse weather conditions, whether it gets flooded in the area often, you know, did you think about that? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you incorporate that into the design?
Yes. Because of the design of the house, the foundation will be built up for our residential property.
Is it just going to be one single floor?
No, it'll be multiple floors.
And is it? I mean, how's the design? How's it looking at? Have you gone with an original, like typically Gambian villa type style, or have you sort of
No,
thought out?
again, the designs were drawn up here in the U.S. from a U.S. builder that I like his designs, and it's more of like a modern farmhouse, is what it looks like to me.
Oh,
So, yes.
nice, modern. So I don't know if have you seen if the night if you look at the Nigerian houses, I'm not even sure. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and show you guys here whilst you're here, because Nigeria just seem to be building up these houses. Not a lot of people like them. My wife doesn't like them either, but the houses that they are building there for your average person, you know, I'm not talking about. Okay, they are quite expensive, but you're looking at 150 between 100 150 for $150,000 will get you something substantial and quite so something like this. Let me see if I can show you. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? Yeah, that's what 150,000. That's a duplex, I think. So I think that's two. You're looking at $150,000 for something like that, brand new outside of, and I don't know. I think I'm planning to perhaps snap one up one day at some point. Why
To me,
not?
the homes
You
in
know?
Nigeria, they look, I guess, more modern than what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, they're not building those houses with high grade materials. They are looking to make a profit. That's the
Hmm.
plan. But another good thing about Nigeria, which many people don't know, is you can pay in terms like a
Hmm.
mortgage. So if you buy a house, you can buy a house and you can pay over from the smallest period of time, I think. Well, you can pay for it in cash clearly, but you can pay for it in over a term of 6 months if you wish, or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I think is the maximum. Some people will do 5 years, and you can pay monthly over that period of time. No banks, no, you don't have to ask somebody to lend you the money, nothing like that. Straight from the developer. And I haven't seen, I mean, I'm sure they do it. I'm sure they must do it in other parts of West Africa, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen another developer offer houses and say, gives the money over terms, you know? And which
I've seen
is
some
a brilliant.
properties in the Gambia listed that way, where you pay for it over a certain amount of time. But it does come, you pay in the end a higher rate for that house or that property.
Clearly.
But the one thing
But
I
it's not.
would like to address before we go forward, I saw a comment um, questioning me and saying that I've lost
Mhm.
credibility. If I choose, I want my 66-year-old mother-in-law to live comfortably and not live without power, not live without water. I can install whatever I like on her property. Because at the end of the day, I purchased it to make sure she was comfortable. I purchased it to make sure she would be okay once her son left.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people
So
don't understand.
I
Yeah.
really don't care. I work every day, sometimes 7 days a week, whether I'm sick or not. My kids
Yeah.
say I'm cheap. I say I'm frugal. Whatever the case may be, it's my money and I've earned it. And if I choose to make my mother in law's life more comfortable, then so be it. Now,
I
yes,
think.
she does rent to a few gentlemen, different rooms that she does have out there, they benefit from the power from the solar panels as well. They benefit from the boreholes as well. There are others within the community that will ask, hey, we don't have water, or our power's still out. Can we come and charge our cell phones? My whole issue was making her life more comfortable. That's it. But at the end of the day, I don't have to wake up and I don't have to look at your viewers in the morning. And I don't have to pay their bills and they don't have to pay mine. So.
Exactly. I can't imagine why somebody, I mean, especially with the rate of technology now, right? The way it's developing and the way technology is being implemented, sometimes in Africa first. A lot of people think that, especially people in the West, even black people in the West, believe that Africa is sort of far behind. They do. They don't believe that the types of solutions that technology will bring that is available now. They don't believe it's available on the continent. They don't believe that you can build a house completely free, not even on the network, and live comfortably in Africa. They don't understand that this type of thing. Do you know what was? Let me ask you this, Tonia. What was the first country in the world to give its citizens high-speed fiber optic internet? I don't remember the name of the country. Does anybody know? I wonder if somebody's from there. What is the first country to give high-speed fiber optic internet? No, it was not. It's an African country. It's an African country. It's a small African country. I can't remember which one, but it's an African country. They had it first. No. It's in the south of Africa. I think it's Zambia. It may not be Zambia, but it's one of those countries, one of those landlocked countries. That was the first country. Somebody Google it, because I can't remember which one it is. Who had? No, it wasn't Rwanda. It's down south. Djibouti, maybe. No, Djibouti is quite north, isn't it? But anyway, people don't understand that Africa are far ahead of us. So everything that you now do on your phone, paying your bills, sending money to different people, Africans been doing that. They've been doing that from a long time ago. That's old news to them. I think it was Botswana. Did you Google that? Is it Botswana, Jeswad? Yeah, so they are well ahead of us, and people still don't understand this. So I didn't read the comment though. I didn't read the comment.
No, I haven't really been paying.
Yeah, I sometimes I read the comments, but clearly, there are going to be problems that need oh my gosh, she's gone. There are going to be problems that need solutions. Clearly, there are going to be problems that need solutions that only you know how to solve. So that's why I was asking Tonia. I was asking her. I told her. I said, how do you plan to build it? What thoughts have you put into it? And she's clearly put a lot of thought into making sure that the house is comfortable, that I guarantee you that the house that she's made, I guarantee you that the bedroom will be downstairs. Let's have a look. Edit name. What's this? That's really weird. For some reason, I can't get Tonia back in. Okay, she'll come back in a minute. Maybe sign out and then sign back in, Tonia. I know you're listening. But because I can't put you on at this moment. Yeah, sign out and sign back in. So yeah, come back in again. Let's have a look. When did you realize you wanted to be Nigerian? I don't want to be Nigerian. I'm happy being the person who I am. I can't change who I am.
I can't change. I can't be I know where I'm from. Where half of my family's from anyway. My mother's side, I'm still wishy-washy. I'm not 100% sure on my mother's side, but my father's side, he was born and raised in one of the towns that was set up by these rogue sort of former prisoners of wars. These people that used to go down and terrorize the slave families, terrorize them. Proud of that. Love that. It's something that I say that, but do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure. I still can't put you in, Tonia, for some reason. It's saying edit name, kick from studio. Well, I don't want to kick her from studio. Okay, save. Okay, let's put her in. Add stream. There you go. There you go. Tonia.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. I couldn't see you there for a moment. Where were we?
Discussing why I have afforded my mother-in-law the luxuries I have and why Africans don't have that understanding.
Yeah, diasporans don't have that understanding.
Well, if it was a diasporan that made the comment, when they were living in the America or the Caribbean or the UK or Europe or wherever, they had that luxury. So why wouldn't I afford it to my mother-in-law? But at the end of the day, people can say whatever they like. I'm the one footing the bill for it. So if it helps me sleep better at night to know that she's comfortable, then so be it.
Yeah. Of course, that's the most important thing. I really understand that. And it's all down to being able for the house to be like I was telling them guys whilst you were away. I was telling these guys, hey, listen, I guarantee you that the house will be built under specifications for the mother to live on one floor without the need of her being able to climb stairs. I can almost guarantee you that. How am I looking with that? How does that look? Are you going to do that? Are you going to put the mother's bedroom on a lower floor?
She'll be with us at some point, yeah.
Exactly. So you build the house and everything else under the specifications, so everyone can enjoy the property, regardless. Even if someone needs to go away, you put yourself into that position. People just don't understand that. Now, some people do understand that, clearly. Sorry, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for the super chat, Melchizedek. Thank you very much. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? You can build your future. You can do everything like that. You can build your house, buy your land. You don't have to get mixed up in this BS. You don't have to get mixed up in it. You can focus on you, especially. And if you have a Gambian husband, I'm not telling you guys to go ahead and marry someone who's a Gambian in order to facilitate buying a house, even though there are plenty of people from Asia doing that. We know that's happening in some parts of Africa. There are plenty of people from Asia who are going out of their way to marry into getting their wealth. Things work differently in Asia. So you get a lot of people who will come to Africa to buy huge swathes of land, who will come from places like China, and they'll buy huge swathes of land. Once they have that land, they can go back to China, and they are allowed to marry another Chinese woman. I promise you, what I just said there, some of you will be like, what? That's the truth. In China, you cannot marry another woman unless you have at least 2 properties, right? That's standard. If you don't have 2 properties, you're not getting married. You are not getting married. You are not going to be accepted by the other family. You need to have 2 properties. And it's been perpetuated by the Chinese government, because all the Chinese government is doing is they're building at a vast rate. They're building more concrete. You can check this out as well. Please Google this. I'll say this slowly so you can Google this. More concrete was used in 3 years, between 2011 and 2014. More concrete was used in China in those 3 years that was ever used in the United States, ever, in its existence, in 3 years. Think about that. The whole world is changing. Be a part of it. Be a part of it. So you're still there, Tonia? Sorry,
I'm still here.
I went off on a rant, Tonia. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine.
Yeah. So what's your plans now? You are they are, let me God. Sorry, by the way. They're building whole ghost towns. Not just that. They are only building these towns so that people can buy another apartment. They don't even live in them. Sometimes they don't even see them. They just buy them just so they can get married. It's the only reason why they buy them. It's wild, absolutely wild. Sorry, Ton, is that old uncle that tells you random stuff after you say, hi, uncle? What? What are you talking about? Just marry the right Gambian, then life is so simple, no drama. And that's probably the truth, right? We heard about, goodness.
So there are questions about, is my husband employed? Yes, he is. What does he do? He's employed and he goes to college.
Oh, he goes to college?
He goes to college. He's going to college for engineering.
Ah, okay. What type of engineering?
Mechanical.
Okay. Okay. It's nice. It's nice. And is he planning to do anything in particular after he finishes college?
By the time he finishes, is probably when we'll be looking to move back to Gambia. So that'll be a decision he'll need to make. I'm not going to force him into doing whatever it is he's going to do for a living, but the second business, he will run that unless he chooses to do something different.
Okay. But if he's already gone to university to do, or to college to do this, then
yes,
he needs to apply it, right? Or else it's just going to be
he'll lose it.
It's going to be a waste of money and a waste of time for him.
Yes.
But clearly, his side of the family are welcoming. They're waiting for you, right?
I love my in-laws, so I've never had any issues.
How many times have you been to the Gambia?
So far, I've been 5 times.
Okay. Is it easy to get there from Texas?
I typically have 3 connecting flights, so it's about a duration a little over 25 hours. It's not the easiest trip, so when I go, I do stay for long periods of time.
Yeah, it's difficult to get to Africa from from let's say Africa. Yeah, I would say Africa. I'm going to say Africa. From the UK, there are direct flights to Accra. There are lots of direct flights during the summertime to Banjul. Lots, multiple carriers from multiple cities across the UK. So some people will fly into the UK and then take one of those cheap flights over to, because they're cheap. They're cheap flights. They're 100 quid, 150 quid. So Jose Bronze, her occupation is import export. Just to let you know. So it's a challenge, isn't it? And I've told people clearly. I'm going to plug oversight in here again. It's difficult for people to continue making these journeys. So it's better if they have somebody on the ground who has no vested interest in making sure, you know, they get their slice of the pie. Someone who's already been paid to do a particular job, to watch over everything. You know, it's better to have that there, and it's cheaper. It's more time efficient for them to do something like that, as opposed to flying back and forth from the Gambia from New York or from wherever, where they need to take 2 or 3 flights. Crazy. When's the next time you're going, Tonia? Are you going to go again soon?
We're not planning to go until after the first of the year.
Until next year?
In January.
Okay, yeah. And did you go there during COVID times?
I went right before COVID, but prior to the U.S. shutting travel down. So I was only able to stay for, I think, we came back about a week and a half later.
Oh, that's not true, Bob Bobness. That's absolutely not true. Thomas Cook, not Thomas Cook. Thompson still fly there. Thompson still fly there from Manchester. They may not be flying there now, clearly, of course, they have the shutdown, but they will. And if you don't fly, of course you can fly there from London direct. Come on, man. You need to do your research, Bob Bobness. Who is this person? Anyway, so yeah, you can. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll show you now. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Sometimes you're going to have to show people this. So I'm going to go search flights from London. I'm just showing you guys that you can fly direct London to Banjul. It's better not show me up now. Let's have a look. Come on. Right, that says cheapest. Okay, oh my God. Yeah, it's not showing me now, but clearly that's because the flights have been shut down for now, right? So, guys, what about this? I can see you guys talking about this now. You're talking about this in the comment section. You're talking about Haman's wife and these 2 women at the same time.
But are they really 2 women?
This is blowing my mind up, because the first one does look like a man. And this is what we was talking about this yesterday. Yesterday we were saying, oh yeah, she's dark skinned. No, she's light skinned. No, I'm like, no, she's light skinned. I could see her face. And I didn't realize that there was more than one video. And in the other video, she's not saying anything. She's in the background. She really got it covered up. She doesn't have any eye makeup on.
That's the darker complexion person, I think, is a man.
Wow. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Yes, I do, Reese Jenkins, if you're watching that, by the way. Yes, I do. So I'll get that over to you. Oh, no, I don't. I'll have to check it out. I'm sorry. I have to check. Sorry, somebody sent me a message. So you think it's a man?
I think the second darker complexion person is a man. Looking at the eyes and the shoulder bill, I think it's one of Haman's friends. Just my opinion.
Why would he do that?
I mean, the eyes and the eyes that what you can see, there's nothing feminine about him.
And now I've been told that he's deleted this. He's deleted that video. That is clear proof that he has something to hide. He's deleted the video. That is wild. So if he's deleted the video, that it must be right. The video is still out there, by the way, guys. You can ask somebody for it. I might have it here. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna go over it again. So I think it's a man too. Notice the children were giggling. You see, yeah, that's very true. That's very observant of you, Steph. So that is, I mean, this is what the Gambia brings to you. And this is what I'm talking about. We have these types of people that are over here doing some wild, wild things. Can't believe that. Really. Yeah, he did delete the video. He deleted the video. So he's definitely got something to hide. No. He's being set up. By who? Who's he being set up by?
He's a willing participant in the setup then.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a willing participant too. He doesn't have to do what he's doing. He's been offered a lot of money, probably more money than what he'll ever see, that he's ever seen in his lifetime. He's been offered that. Would you turn that down if you were offered, let's say, in their terms, okay, how much he's making? If you're living in the West, it would be more like $500,000. Yeah. In your money, in your value, it would be $500,000. So would you turn that down if your family was sort of down and out? I don't think you would, really. You know, it's hard for us. That's why I told people you need to be empathetic towards him, because you don't quite know. You've never been in his situation. Most of you guys are here. Most of you guys, even, you know, you guys in the diaspora, a lot of people clearly on the African continent have never been in the situation that Haman is in. Maybe in the past you have been, but clearly, if you're educated, you always stand a better chance of mobilizing yourself, getting yourself out of trouble, because you can use that education for good. But a man doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. He doesn't even have, by the sound of things, he doesn't have street smarts. You know, when you don't go to college, a lot of people, guys, when they don't go to college, they have that street smarts. They know how to make money one way or another. I don't think he even has that.
I guess my thing with Haman, okay, you need or you want the donations, the easy money may feel good to you, but to put his mother in that situation, that woman looked really uncomfortable. I felt bad for her. To me, no amount of money is worth putting your mom through that. No. Haman is a young man. He's able-bodied. You know, like I said in one of the videos, why can't he go and work for TAF or one of the other home construction companies out there? Why not?
Exactly. He can do that. He can do that. But I'm not sure. Those guys are, I don't know, they're quite, I don't think they pay very well. That's a problem. He makes way more money doing what he's doing now, growing his YouTube channel, having a bit of freedom to do that. He makes way more money than what they would pay him, on his if he was working for one of these land development companies, especially TAF. TAF is not doesn't really have a good name.
TAF homes are awful.
Have you had an experience with them?
A friend of my husband's, when he let it be known that we were looking for different properties for her. One of his friends suggested that we take a look at a home in Bruford. It was somewhere in Bruford, and it was built by TAF, but the work just looked real shoddy to me. I didn't like it, so it was a pass for me.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're supposed to be the best, the biggest. They're definitely the biggest property developers in the Gambia, right?
I would say yes, they're probably the biggest.
And it's
I just don't like it.
It's African owned. It's an out and out African company. They use a lot of Chinese building materials, and that can be a problem. But no, I think it wouldn't be good for Haman to work for a company like that. But the fact that he's done something so audacious as to bring on two different people, one of them that could be a guy, because you guys were saying, oh no, that's not him. Look at him. Look at her. You were saying, look at the size of her. She's bulky. She did change. So if you look into the videos, one of the videos, you can tell that the person under the veil is a bit stocky. And I'm like, this person's a bit stocky. Yeah, it's a bigger woman. It's a bigger woman than the Bag's daughter. I've got her name. It's a bigger woman than that. And I was like, maybe these guys are right. But then I didn't realize that there are two videos. One of them, it's a lighter skinned woman, and in the other video, it's a dark skinned woman that's a little stockier, who we are now calling, oh man, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Stay out of this. But you said you wanted to start the YouTube channel at some point, didn't you?
No, my husband would rather I not. From what he sees in the videos, he just thinks it's a lot of drama.
Yeah, I would actually agree with him on that one, Tonia. I would definitely agree with him on that one. Oh, do you know, I know that I was supposed to only have you for an hour, but I've kept you for an hour and a half, Tonia. And I've got to say thank you for coming on and sharing with us the secrets of your successful repatriation and land purchases. I mean, it's been really good speaking with you.
The one thing I would say to anyone who's going to do their own research and by themselves without using one of these YouTube land agents, a good place to start as far as what is needed, what's required in the entire process, your first place to go would be physical planning.
Physical planning,
and get a reputable solicitor to go out and assess that land.
Okay, cool. All right, fantastic, great advice. Or clearly you can go with oversight,
or yes, you can go with oversight.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
I got this. You can go with oversight. clearly. We don't take a percentage. Our lawyers don't take a percentage. They get, and they pay, you pay the solicitor's fees over a period of time. Gives you a hell of a lot of power. Think about that. It gives you a hell of a lot of power, because all of a sudden you're not paying somebody a lump of cash and then saying, hey, you know, do this, do that, do the, you know, and then that person, after you've paid them the lump of cash, they are not motivated to do the things that they said that they promised to do. All of a sudden they've already done it, and they're like, well, yeah, we'll take our time. All of a sudden you are in the driving seat. You're still paying them. They're not doing what you, well, clearly, I'm not going to say don't pay us, but you're in the driving seat, and we have to do the things that we need to do in order to get paid. You are in the driving seat. You don't send the cash for the land or for the house or for whatever. You don't send it directly to the people. You don't even send it to us. Okay, you don't send it to us. You put that in an escrow of your choice, yeah, and then you leave it there. And all our solicitors will do is we will write the terms of the escrow. It's a perfect system, and it keeps you totally in charge. So anyway, so guys, I want to say thank you to Tonia. Tonia, you're gonna, I'm gonna go live again a little later. You're gonna come in and watch.
I will be here.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Still early morning over there, isn't it? Is it morning there still?
No, it's 12:34 here.
Fantastic, fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to have it out with these guys now, Tonia.
Okay.
Take care. It was nice having Tonia on. It was fantastic. But what are you guys saying? Let's have a look. But Ton, I have to tell that other nationals have been coming to the Gambia for a long time, but I have never experienced so much drama as it is now, thanks to some African Americans. Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's not just African Americans, but it's crazy. This is though. It's crazy. There's no guarantee that this woman under the veil that was speaking with an African American accent, there's no guarantee that she's ADOS. There's no guarantee that she is from, gosh, I keep forgetting these words and terms to call these people now. That she has come from a family, a descendant of a slave, you know. Sounds like she just, you know, sounds like she's just an African American person, but there's no guarantee that she is. Sounds like she is, but she could have, you know, she could be African, she could be Gambian. You never know. I don't want to start pointing fingers at whole ethnicities. I don't think that's the right way to do it, but it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy that he's done this, and I'm wondering, whatever, who is this? Why are you lot? That's not even funny. I got it wrong. Okay, guys, I got it wrong. Apparently, there are no flights there at all, but now it's lockdown in the UK, so there are no flights flying anywhere. Okay, so whatever. African American women are last. That's not true, Lemmy God. That's not true. But we're in a situation now where we're going to have to see that this drama is going to unfold. Who's this guy? Is it Starline? Starblack? I forgot. There's another YouTuber out there. It's a small one. He seems to be in the know, doesn't he? He seems to know what's going on. He seems to be really keeping a sharp eye on this, on Hammam. I'm going to tell you his name. His name is. Let's go back in my history. No, that's my videos. I'm going to go in history. Let's see. There. No. African Starship. This African Starship. He's the one who called it out first, right? Clearly he saw this. I don't know how he saw it, but I would stop short of saying that it's a man, because you don't know. There's no way of telling that this is a man. No way of telling. But I would say that this guy is right, that this is two different women. It's difficult to see that as well, because the other woman is wearing makeup. She's got makeup on, she's got her eyelashes in. She could have taken it off. How would you know? There's no guarantee. But boy, and the fact that why are you saying he sounds African American? Let me God. Hammond's wife, is she AA? She contacted him through you. Is from Africa. Angel, who's Angel? Who is this? How do you know this? I don't think you're. I think you know something, Angel. I think you're telling fibs. I don't think you are who you say you are, Angel. I think you're a little devil in disguise. No African American woman is married to a man. I mean, we know this now. This is clear, right? This is clear, but just, what's their game, man? I know they want the money, but boy, come on, to go through such extremes just for a bit of money. I mean, I know it's a lot of money to him, but the fact that he's taking it down too, that is wild. The fact that he's taking it down, because if it was truly his wife, he would have never have taken that down. If it was his wife, he would have never have taken that down. It's like, why? If it's the same person, why? Why would you take it down? Why would you even put yourself into that situation? No, you wouldn't. It's like, you guys are silly, two women. Yeah, it's a man. Okay, that's not really nice. How dare you say that about my wife? But the way he's reacting, it doesn't sound like... Oh, man. I thought I'd walked away from the Gambia. It just seems to be following me. Anyway, so guys, do you know what? I'm going to start to wrap things up now. I don't have anything else to say about... let's see what you guys have to say. It's not a damn man. Take the lashes off. It's a female. I think you might be right. We are not locked down on flights in UK. Yeah, but you have to take 3 flights to go to Banjul from London. That's unheard of. That is unheard of. During the season, in the middle of July. That's not right. Even if all the holiday airlines shut down, British Airways would still fly to all of the former colonies, and Banjul is a former colony. British Airways they used to have direct flights there. Clearly, they're not flying now, and there must be a reason for that. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get a poor doggy a bone. When she bent down, the dog came around. Oh, do you know what? Come on now. Oh, gosh, you guys crazier than a man. Ton, do a live on that slow ass dude, selling beachfront land. I know they are beachfront land. That's just impossible. And do you want me to tell you the funny part of this? the funny part about my thoughts and everything. The funny part about it is when he went to the land, they had the sticks in the land, and they were cornering off places. It's like, see, the land is here. The land is here. It's like, guys are full of it. Come on, man. Not for 1 second did I believe that he had that. Not 1 second. But you know, I used to do a lot of work in the Netherlands. I used to do a lot of work, and you know, the going thing is not to trust any Dutch person. Doesn't matter what color, creed, race. Doesn't matter. You just, when it comes to business, you don't trust them ever. You have to stay away from them in that sort of a sense, or you have to do business with people that you really know. You can't just go to anybody. They'll just rob you. People in the Netherlands, they will rob you blind, man. Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm saying. Just because somebody speaks with an American accent doesn't make them ADOS. She could have been there for quite some time. Thank you, Chima Madhu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Any updates on Wilkins Morency? That's a good one. That's a good one. I could make a video about him, but it'd have to be really carefully done, because he's taken all my videos down, and that's because I had his pictures all throughout them. So I'd have to make another one. And then in this case, I'll name him by his alter ego name. What is that? What's his alter ego name? What's his other name? So like, what? I live in Amsterdam. What are you talking about, Tom? What are you talking about, Joe boy? What did I say? What was wrong? I lived in Amsterdam for almost 10 years. So tell me, how long you lived there for? How long have you lived there for? Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'll Lou Major. Thank you, China Madhu. Lou Major. So I'd have to call him by his alter ego. I'd have to do a lot of editing inside the video to make sure it doesn't look like I'm speaking about him. Because he keeps taking my videos down. He's taken all of them down. I've made 4 videos, he's taken all 4 of them down. But I know something he doesn't know. And he's going to be, yeah, I'm going to keep this to myself. Crying shame, you're pretending to be Black Americans claiming it. Gosh, man, you guys are, I'm going to stop reading out your comments now. You guys are wild. Absolutely wild. Cheapest flight from the UK to Banjul in last 2 years was 1 stop through Brussels on July 2020 on standby with Brussels Airlines. Was that since well, it must have been, right? 2 years ago. 2 years. No, that's not right. Because when did Thomas Cook go out of business? Was it was the summer before? Summer of 2019. Right. Let's say, Joe Lockboy, you said the Netherlands, they would rob you, and that is true. That is 100% true. 100% true. Right. You got a lot of European Dutch people who will run around tell you, don't do business with the Antillians. Don't do business with people from the Dutch Antilles. Don't do any business with them. They will rob you. And or don't do any business with the Moroccans. They'll tell you that. And then those same European Dutch people will rob you. They'll do that. They do this all the time. You cannot trust anybody there. Like, Jollof boy, I'm telling you this now. If you're saying that I'm wrong about that, then clearly you have not been living there long enough. You have not been doing business there. I'm 100% sure on that. I was there since 2002. And I lived there pretty much off and on up until 2012. So anyway, so yeah, you have to be very careful. You are very economical with the truth. You know that she is an African American, but you like to. That's not true. That's not true. I'm just being honest. You can't 100% say that she's surely African American. What 100%? Oh no, not. That you got to remember that an African American is an ethnicity, and an ethnicity is all down to how you identify yourself. So you could have people who are not ADOS who call themselves African American, and how could you dispute that? They're from Africa and they are American, and they've been living there in America for most of their lives. You cannot define yourself as a non-African American if you are literally an African American. But other people who are descended from slaves, descended from slavery, they call themselves something else, right? Anyway, sorry. So guys, I know I've gone well over. Well over, and I'm getting a few messages now because I've got I've actually got company in the house. But I wanted to really speak to you guys about that. So let's have a look. Came to the UK 27 years ago. I'm 47 now. Nice. There is an African American family that has moved to the UK. I've been trying to get in contact with them, but a lot of these, especially the old school African American families, I've contacted some of them. They don't speak to me back. They don't send me messages back. They don't talk about me simply because my name is the Unapologetic Nairobian, and they're like, a lot of them turn their noses up to my name, but it's one of those things. I'm sorry. But I would love to speak to them because they live in the same city now that I grew up in. They live in Birmingham. And yeah, they love it there. I don't know why. They love it. And so they're on YouTube now. And I'm trying to get them on. You guys there? Hello. Hey, I'm back. So yeah, guys, I had to go anyway. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you are still there. Thank you for the thank you very much for the super chats from you guys. Also, thank you very much to you guys also for my Patreons, for the Patreon support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a very good live. Tomorrow, a very good live. We're going to be talking about Blacksit. We're going to be talking about the new video that's come out about Blacksit. And we're going to try and get this person who has also had quite a significant problem with Blacksit. Clearly, Blacksit has just lied to her, out and out lied to her. So it'll be interesting to see what she has to say. So please, guys, join us tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Ta-ra a bit. Ta-ra a bit.